She yelled, "You'll never be good enough for me," in front of her friends. I smiled and said, "You're probably right." Then I walked out, got in my car, and drove away. Later that night, her friends messaged me what they told her after I left. "My name is Marcus, I'm 30, and I work in finance as a senior analyst at a mid-sized investment firm in Chicago. I make decent money, around $140,000 a year. Not rich, but comfortable. I drive a paid-off 2015 Honda Accord, live in a nice one-bedroom apartment in Lincoln Park, and I've got about $85,000 saved up between my 401k and emergency fund. I'm telling you this because money is what this whole thing ended up being about, even though I didn't realize it at the time. I'd been dating Sarah for 3 years. We met at a mutual friend's birthday party back in May 2021. She was a marketing coordinator at a mid-tier beauty brand, made around $55,000, and honestly, money never seemed like an issue between us. We split dates pretty evenly in the beginning. Maybe I paid 60% of the time, but it felt natural and fair. She was funny, ambitious, loved trying new restaurants, and we just clicked. I thought we were building something real. The first year was incredible. We'd spend weekends exploring different neighborhoods, trying hole-in-the-wall restaurants, going to free concerts in Millennium Park. She never complained about my car or my apartment. She seemed happy. We talked about future plans, maybe moving in together, adopting a dog, taking a trip to Europe when we'd saved enough. It all felt genuine. But about 6 months ago, things started changing. Sarah began making comments, little ones at first. We'd be watching some travel show on Netflix and she'd say, "Wouldn't it be nice to go to the Maldives like them?" I'd laugh and say, "Maybe in a few years when I make VP." She'd go quiet, her smile fading. Or we'd be scrolling through Instagram together and she'd stop at posts of engagement rings, designer bags, luxury vacations. She'd linger on those posts longer than she used to. Then there were her friends, Nicole, Jess, and Amanda. We'd go out with them maybe twice a month, and every single time, the conversation turned to money. Nicole's boyfriend just bought her a Tiffany bracelet. Jess's boyfriend surprised her with a weekend in Cabo. Amanda's boyfriend leased her a BMW for her birthday. And every time, Sarah would come home quieter than usual. 3 months ago, she started pulling away, less texting during the day. When I'd send her funny memes or ask about her lunch, I'd get one-word responses hours later. More, "I'm tired," when I wanted to come over after work. Our Friday date nights became every other Friday, then once a month. When I finally confronted her on a Tuesday night in mid-July, sitting in my living room with Thai takeout getting cold between us, she said, "I just feel like we're not progressing, you know? Like, where is this relationship actually going?" I told her I loved her, that I was actively saving for a down payment on a house, that I wanted a real future with her, that I was planning to propose within the year. I even showed her my savings spreadsheet, my timeline, my plan. She nodded slowly, but her eyes looked distant, like she was already somewhere else in her mind, like my plan wasn't good enough or fast enough. 2 weeks ago, everything exploded. It was Saturday night, August 24th. Sarah invited me to Amanda's 28th birthday dinner at this upscale Italian place downtown called Girasole, the kind with cloth napkins, a wine list thicker than a phone book, and a sommelier. I wore a navy button-down and dark slacks, nothing fancy but clean and presentable. When I arrived at 7:30 p.m., Sarah barely acknowledged me. She was already 2 glasses of Prosecco deep, laughing loudly with her friends at the bar, and I felt like a ghost she could see right through. The restaurant was packed, candles flickering on every table, soft jazz playing in the background. Our group had a long table near the window overlooking the Chicago River. I sat at the end, next to Sarah, who immediately turned her attention to Jess on her other side. They were talking about some influencer drama I didn't care about. I ordered a beer and tried to make conversation with Brad, Amanda's boyfriend, about the Bears' terrible season. He was polite enough, but his attention kept drifting back to his phone. Halfway through dinner, after the appetizers arrived, bruschetta and calamari that cost $24 each, Brad started talking about the Tesla Model S he'd just bought. Brand new, fully loaded, $95,000. Everyone oohed and awed like he'd announced he'd won the lottery. He pulled out his phone, showing off pictures of the white exterior, the massive touchscreen dashboard, the autopilot features, the insane acceleration times. "Man, that's incredible," said Nicole's boyfriend Jason. "I'm looking at the Model X myself. The Falcon Wing doors are sick." Then Jess's boyfriend Derek mentioned he'd just closed on a 2-bedroom condo in River North. "Got it for $480,000, but with the neighborhood development, it'll be worth $600,000 in 3 years easy. Already got it appraised higher than what I paid." Nicole's boyfriend worked in tech at some startup and started going on about his company's stock options. "If we IPO next year like everyone's saying, I'm looking at a potential $200,000 bonus minimum. Could be more if the valuation hits what we're projecting." I stayed quiet. I'm not a flashy guy. I don't need to wave my paycheck around to feel good about myself. I was cutting into my chicken parmesan, which was admittedly delicious, minding my own business, when Sarah said it. "Yeah, well, Marcus is still driving his college car." The table went quiet for a second, then everyone laughed. Not mean laughter exactly, just awkward chuckles, the kind that fill uncomfortable silence. But it stung like hell. I looked directly at her, fork still in my hand. "It's paid off. No debt, no monthly payments." She rolled her eyes dramatically, taking another sip of wine. "That's not the flex you think it is, babe." I felt my chest tighten, heat creeping up my neck, but I kept my expression neutral. I set my fork down carefully. "Excuse me, I need to use the restroom." I walked past the bar, past couples enjoying their romantic meals, and into the bathroom. I splashed cold water on my face, stared at myself in the mirror under the harsh fluorescent lights, and told myself to let it go. She was drunk. She was showing off for her friends. It didn't mean anything. We'd talk about it tomorrow when she was sober. But when I came back to the table, weaving through the waitstaff carrying trays of pasta and wine, I overheard her. She was leaning toward Amanda, her voice low but not low enough. "I just don't see him ever being at the level I want, you know? Like, he's comfortable being mediocre. He has no real ambition to level up. He's content with good enough." I stood there for a second, frozen 3 feet behind her chair, my hand gripping the back of an empty seat. The words hit me harder than the public humiliation. Mediocre, no ambition. Those words coming from someone who claimed to love me. Then I walked back around, sat down, and didn't say another word for the rest of dinner. I smiled politely when spoken to, nodded when appropriate, and counted the minutes until we could leave. The dessert course felt like it lasted hours. When we finally got outside around 10:45 p.m., the cool night air hit my face. It was a relief after the stuffy restaurant. Sarah was tipsy, giggling about something Amanda said, leaning on Jess for support as they walked. I told her I'd drive her home since she'd clearly been drinking too much. She waved me off dismissively. "I'm staying at Amanda's tonight. We're doing a girls' night thing, watching movies or whatever." "All right," I said, keeping my voice even. "Text me when you get there safe." "Yeah, sure," she said without looking at me. I started walking toward the parking garage across the street, my hands in my pockets. I'd made it maybe 20 feet, was almost at the crosswalk when she yelled it. Her voice cut through the sounds of downtown traffic, the honking cars, the distant sirens. "You know what, Marcus? You'll never be good enough for me." Everything stopped. Her friends went completely silent. A couple walking their dog on the sidewalk turned to stare. A group of people smoking outside a bar looked over. I stopped walking, my back still to her, and took a deep breath. Then I turned around slowly. She was standing there in her black dress and heels, arms crossed, mascara slightly smudged, looking at me like I was the problem. Like I was the one who'd done something wrong. Her friends were staring at her with wide eyes, mouths slightly open in shock. I just smiled, calm, controlled, the kind of smile that doesn't reach your eyes. "You're probably right," I said, my voice steady and clear enough for everyone to hear. Then I turned back around, walked to my car, got in, and drove away. My hands gripped the steering wheel so tight my knuckles went white. I didn't cry. I didn't scream or punch my dashboard or call her names. I just drove home in complete silence, the city lights blurring past my windows, my mind surprisingly blank. When I got home around 11:15 p.m., I poured myself 3 fingers of bourbon, sat on my couch in the dark, and stared at the black TV screen for 2 hours. My phone sat face down on the coffee table. I didn't want to look at it, didn't want to see her excuses or apologies or whatever she'd send. Around 11:30 p.m., I finally picked it up. 3 messages were waiting. Nicole. "Hey, I'm really sorry about tonight. That was completely out of line. You didn't deserve that." Jess. "Dude, we told her off after you left. Like, seriously went off on her. She was way out of pocket. I'm sorry you had to hear that." Amanda. "Marcus, I need you to know that after you left, we all laid into her. I told her she just humiliated the best guy she's ever dated in front of everyone for no reason. Nicole called her shallow and materialistic. Jess said she was acting like a spoiled brat who doesn't know what she has. Sarah started crying and saying she didn't mean it, that she was just frustrated with her life and her job. But honestly, I think she's been listening to too much toxic bullshit from Instagram influencers and people who think a man's worth is his bank account. You deserve so much better than this. I'm really sorry my birthday was ruined like that." I read all 3 messages twice. I didn't respond to any of them. I turned my phone off and went to bed at 1 a.m., staring at my ceiling in the dark. Update 1. Sunday morning, I woke up at 9 a.m. to 14 missed calls from Sarah and a string of increasingly desperate texts that had come in overnight. Sarah. "Marcus, please call me." Sarah. "I'm so sorry I was drunk. I didn't mean any of it." Sarah. "Can we please just talk? I'm begging you." Sarah. "I love you. Please don't ignore me." Sarah. "You're not mediocre. I was just drunk and stupid." I didn't respond to any of them. Instead, I got up, made coffee, and called my best friend Kevin around 10 a.m. I told him everything that happened. He listened without interrupting, and when I finished, he said, "Bro, you dodged a nuclear missile." Let her sit with what she did. Don't respond. She needs to understand there are consequences. Monday at work, I kept my phone on Do Not Disturb the entire day. I buried myself in a complex portfolio analysis I'd been avoiding for weeks. Numbers, spreadsheets, market projections. It was exactly what I needed to keep my mind occupied. My boss even commented that I seemed exceptionally focused and asked if everything was okay. I just said I was in the zone. Tuesday was the same. Head down, working through lunch, staying until 7 p.m. Wednesday evening around 6:30 p.m., as I was heating up leftover pizza, there was a knock on my door. I looked through the peephole and saw Sarah standing there. I opened the door. She looked absolutely wrecked. Puffy red eyes, no makeup, wearing old gray sweatpants, and a Northwestern hoodie I'd never seen before. Her hair was in a messy bun. "Can I come in?" "Please." I sighed deeply and stepped aside. She walked in slowly and sat on my couch, the exact same spot where I'd sat alone after she humiliated me. The irony wasn't lost on me. "I was drunk and stupid," she started, her voice shaky. "I've been under so much pressure at work with the new product launch, and my friends have been in my ear about..." "About what?" I cut her off, my voice harder than I intended. "About me not being rich enough for you? Not flashy enough? Not good enough?" She looked down at her hands, fidgeting with her phone. "It's not like that." "Then what is it like, Sarah? Explain it to me. Because from where I'm sitting, you publicly humiliated me in front of your friends, called me mediocre, and told me I'd never be good enough for you. So please, help me understand." She was quiet for what felt like forever. I could hear my neighbor's TV through the wall, some sports announcer yelling about a touchdown. Finally, she said quietly, "I guess I just wanted more." "More of what?" I leaned forward. "I work hard every single day. I'm loyal. I've never lied to you or disrespected you. I've been there for you through job stress, family drama, everything. I was planning to propose to you. What more could you possibly want?" "I don't know," she whispered, tears starting to fall. "I just feel like everyone around me is leveling up their lives and we're just stuck in the same place." "Stuck," I repeated slowly, letting the word hang in the air. "You think 3 years of love and building something real together is being stuck because I don't drive a Tesla or buy you expensive jewelry?" She started crying harder, her shoulders shaking. "I didn't say that." "You did, actually. Maybe not in those exact words, but that's what you meant. You said I'd never be good enough for you, in front of everyone. You humiliated me. I didn't mean it. I swear to God I didn't mean it." "But you thought it," I said quietly, feeling surprisingly calm. "And that's the real problem here. You can apologize for saying it out loud, but you can't take back that you actually believe it." I asked her to leave. She begged me to reconsider, said she'd do anything to fix this, that she loved me, that we could go to couples therapy, that she'd prove she didn't mean it. I told her I needed space and time to think. She nodded, wiping her eyes, and left, crying into her hands as she walked down the hallway. Update 2. A week passed in complete silence. I didn't reach out, didn't check her social media, didn't ask our mutual friends about her. I just focused on work and myself. I started going to the gym every morning before work, something I'd been meaning to do for months. It felt good to have a routine again. Then, on September 7th, I got an unexpected call from Jess around 1 p.m. while I was at lunch. She sounded panicked, speaking fast. "Marcus, I need to tell you something, and you're going to be pissed." My stomach immediately dropped. I set down my sandwich. "What happened?" "Sarah's been texting her ex. Like, a lot, apparently. And Brad saw her meeting up with him at that coffee shop on Michigan Avenue yesterday afternoon around 3 p.m. I felt completely numb. "Her ex? You mean Tyler?" "Yeah, the finance bro from Goldman Sachs who cheated on her 2 years ago. The one she said she'd never forgive. Tyler. The guy who made over $200,000 base plus bonuses, drove a Porsche Cayenne, wore Rolex watches, and treated Sarah like an accessory to show off at company events. The same guy she'd sworn up and down she hated and would never speak to again." "Are you absolutely sure about this?" "Brad took a picture from across the street when he was walking to a client meeting. I'm sending it to you right now." A minute later, my phone buzzed. There they were, clear as day. Sarah and Tyler sitting at an outdoor table at Intelligentsia Coffee, both laughing, looking comfortable like no time had passed. She was wearing the blue floral dress I'd bought her for her birthday last year. The dress, she said, made her feel beautiful. I didn't feel angry. I didn't feel betrayed or hurt. I just felt relieved, like a massive weight had been lifted off my shoulders, like the universe had just confirmed what I already knew. I'd made the right decision. I texted Sarah, "We're done. Don't contact me again." She called within 30 seconds. I declined the call and watched her name disappear from my screen. She texted immediately, "Marcus, please, let me explain. He reached out to apologize for everything. I swear it's nothing, we just talked. I still love you. Please." I blocked her number, her Instagram, her Facebook, everything. Complete digital silence. Update 3. 2 weeks after I blocked Sarah, Nicole called me on a Friday night around 8 p.m. I was at home watching a Cubs game with a beer, actually feeling pretty good about life. "Hey Marcus, I wanted to give you a heads up about something," Nicole said. "Sarah and Tyler made it official. They're dating again. She posted about it on Instagram this morning." "Good for her," I said, and I genuinely meant it. "She got what she wanted." "That's the thing, though," Nicole continued. "I don't think she did. Amanda and I went to brunch with her last Sunday, and she spent the whole time either on her phone texting Tyler or talking about him, but not in a happy way. She kept saying things like, he wants me to dress more sophisticated, and he thinks I should network more with important people, and he's helping me become a better version of myself. It was weird as hell. Sounds like Tyler, I said. He always treated her like a project. Yeah, well, it's gotten worse apparently. Jess saw them at dinner Tuesday night and Tyler spent the entire meal on his phone doing work emails. Didn't even look at Sarah, just kept ordering for her without asking what she wanted. I took a sip of my beer. That's his style. Everything has to be controlled by him. There's more, Nicole said. Amanda ran into Sarah at Target yesterday and Sarah looked miserable. She tried to act happy, showing off this Gucci bag Tyler bought her, but Amanda said her eyes looked dead. And get this, Sarah mentioned that Tyler wants her to quit her marketing job because it's beneath the lifestyle he's building, and he wants her to focus on being more present for his career needs. Jesus, I muttered. So he wants her to be unemployed and completely dependent on him. Exactly. And when Amanda asked if she was happy, Sarah just changed the subject really fast, started talking about some charity gala Tyler's taking her to next month and how she needs to buy a $2,000 dress for it. I shook my head. Well, that's her choice. She wanted the luxury lifestyle. Now she's got it. I know, Nicole sighed, but I feel bad. We all do. She threw away something real for this fake bullshit. Anyway, I just wanted you to know. Also, Amanda's having a small get-together in 2 weeks if you want to come. Just close friends. Sarah won't be there. I'll think about it, I said. Thanks for the heads up. After we hung up, I sat there thinking about it for a while. Part of me felt vindicated. Sarah had chosen money and status over genuine love, and now she was realizing that money can't buy happiness or real connection. But mostly, I just felt indifferent. She'd made her bed. Final update. It's been 3 months since that disastrous birthday dinner. It's now early November, and my life has completely turned around. First, the professional stuff. I got promoted in late October to Associate VP with a significant raise, $175,000 base plus performance bonuses that could add another $30,000. My boss called me into his office and told me my focus and work quality over the past few months had been exceptional. Funny how a clear mind and no relationship drama can improve your career. I've been hitting the gym 5 days a week, dropped 15 pounds, and actually feel strong and healthy for the first time in years. I reconnected with my college buddies, started playing basketball on Wednesday nights, and honestly, I feel lighter and happier than I have in years. 2 weeks ago, I went to Amanda's get-together. It was actually great. About 15 people, good food, no drama. Nicole, Jess, and Amanda have all been incredibly supportive. They've completely cut ties with Sarah over what happened. Apparently, she kept trying to justify her choices and blamed me for not being ambitious enough, and they weren't having it. At the party, Amanda pulled me aside. I need to tell you something about Sarah. It's bad. What happened? Tyler dumped her last week, completely out of nowhere. She called me crying at 2 a.m. Apparently, he met someone at his firm, some lawyer who went to Yale, and just straight up told Sarah they were done. Said the new girl was more aligned with his professional trajectory, or some bullshit like that. Wow, I said. That's cold even for Tyler. It gets worse. He kicked her out of his place the same night. She had to call an Uber at midnight with her stuff in trash bags because he wouldn't let her stay until morning. And remember that Gucci bag? He took it back. Said it was technically his property since he bought it. I felt a tiny pang of sympathy, but it faded quickly. What's she doing now? Living with her parents in the suburbs. She had to quit her apartment because she'd quit her job like Tyler wanted, and now she's got no income. She's applying to jobs, but having a 3-month employment gap is making it hard. She's basically starting over from scratch. Damn, I said quietly. She tried to reach out to all of us to apologize, but honestly, we're done. You don't treat people like that and expect everyone to just welcome you back. And between you and me? Amanda lowered her voice. She asked Nicole if you were seeing anyone. Nicole told her it was none of her business. I smiled at that. Good. Last week, Sarah tried reaching out to me from a new number. I didn't have it saved, so the message came through. Unknown. Marcus, it's Sarah. I know you blocked me. I don't blame you. I made the biggest mistake of my life. Tyler and I broke up. I was so stupid and shallow, and I threw away the best thing that ever happened to me. You were right about everything. I miss you so much. I miss us. Is there any chance we could talk, even just for coffee? I need to apologize properly. I'm so sorry. I stared at that message for about 30 seconds, thought about everything we'd been through, thought about the good times and the bad, thought about who she was when we met versus who she became. Then I deleted the message and blocked the number. I'm not interested in being someone's backup plan or safety net. I'm not interested in being the guy she settles for after the luxury lifestyle didn't work out. I deserve someone who sees my worth from the beginning, not someone who only realizes it after they've lost it. Yesterday, I matched with someone on Hinge. Her name's Elena, she's a teacher, drives a Toyota, and her profile says she values authenticity over aesthetics. We're getting coffee this Sunday. I'm not expecting anything, but I'm open to possibilities. As for Sarah, I heard through Nicole that she's back on dating apps, still living with her parents, working as a contract social media manager for like $40,000 a year. She apparently posts a lot of inspirational quotes about knowing your worth and not settling, which Nicole finds hilarious given the circumstances. I don't wish her harm. I don't wish her well either. I just don't think about her anymore. I'm focused on my own life, my own growth, my own future, and honestly, it feels pretty damn good. Edit 1. A lot of people are asking if I ever really loved her. I did, deeply. But love isn't enough when someone fundamentally doesn't respect you or value what you bring to the relationship. Edit 2. For those saying I should have fought harder, why? So she could resent me for not being wealthy enough? So I could spend years trying to prove my worth to someone who already decided I wasn't enough? Pass. Edit 3. Someone asked if I'd take her back if she apologized again. Absolutely not. I'm nobody's backup plan or safety net. The fact that she only wants me back after Tyler dumped her tells me everything I need to know. Edit 4. The coffee date with Elena went really well. We talked for 3 hours. Getting dinner with her next week. Taking it slow, but I'm optimistic.